You all in my video, and in this video I am going to cover the insertion sort algorithm, but starting with the definition of sorting. Sorting is any process of arranging items systematically in logical order, generally either in ascending or descending order. There are various sorting techniques. I have already covered the bubble sort, and now moving to insertion sort, and there are many sorting algorithms working over different data structures. So let us continue. So insertion sort. So the idea behind the insertion sort is similar to the bubble sort. If you are familiar with bubble sort, here also if we have to sort just two numbers, just need to swap these two numbers. As in the case 5 is greater than 3, so I will swap these two numbers. So 3 and 5, they are in ascending order now, and as 7 and 8 are already in ascending order, so I don't need to do anything. However, the way we traverse on the given array is very much different from the bubble sort. So we will see when we how we traverse on the array for insertion sort. Here I've taken up an array which contains animal 5, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, and I have also mentioned their index values. Also, I have shown these bars which are corresponding to the value. This will be helpful for our visualization. Now, apart from this array, I will be also maintaining two variables I and j for the purpose of which I will tell you. Here I am having an arrow and a box. So the I value represents where the arrow is currently pointing, and the j value is where our box is present. And the key value is the value pointed by our arrow. These things will be helpful for us to design the logic of our program. So before performing the insertion sort algorithm over this array, I will give you a basic idea how we are going to do this. So what we will do, this arrow will move one by one step. And by the time this arrow has reached to the end of this array, the array will be sorted. Now in meanwhile, what we will do, whenever arrow moves one step from the previous index, the box will move back step. For example, if the arrow is pointing at 3, the box will move on 2, 1, 0 in the reverse direction, and it will compare the value to the key value we have. Now, what is the use of this key value? We will see when we will perform the algorithm, and while comparing, it will also keep swapping with the logic I explained earlier. So let's start performing it. Now we are on the starting step, and as you can see my arrow is pointing on the 0th index, but there is no box here because the box should be present just one step before the arrow. But as the arrow is already pointing on the 0th index, there is no place for the box. So this implies the arrow should start its work from the first index. That is the reason why j has no value till now. Okay, so as you can see now, arrow has come to first index, and since arrow is pointing to the value 2, our key value is 2 now, and one step before on the 0th index our box is present, for which I have initialized j as 0. Now what are we supposed to do? We have to compare the value inside the box with the key value. Okay, and if the key value is less than the value present inside the box number should swap between the adjacent numbers. This 5 should swap with this 2. So as 5 is greater than 2, I have to do the swap. So after swap, the 2 will come on the 0th index and 5 will come on the first index. So our job is done here since box reached the 0th index and there is no further way for the box to go. So now we need to increment the value of I so that arrow will point here. Okay, so now the arrow is on the second index. That is why I is 2, and um, it is pointing to the value 4. That is why the key value has changed to 4. Also, the box should be just one step before the current index. So j is 1 and box is present on one index. Now, as we have done earlier, we will compare the value present inside the box with the key value, and as we see here, our box value is greater than the key value. So the box value will swap itself from the right element. So a swap is required here. So as you can see, 4 has come to first index and 5 has gone to second index. But the process is not over yet because there are still numbers left on the left side so that box can go or move on the left side. So our box should go on the 0th index now, and j should decrement. Okay, so now j is on the 0th index, that is box is on the 0th index, and if we compare the value with the key value, our box value is smaller than the key value. This is correct, so we don't need to do anything. And as the box has reached the 0th index, no way to go, so our I value will increment and our arrow will move one step ahead. Now our I value is 3 and our j value is 2, just one step before the current index, and since the arrow is pointing to the value 6, our key value is 6 now. Now as done earlier, we will compare the value of the box with the key value, and we observe here the key value is greater than the value present in the box, which is the correct order. So we don't need to check, actually we don't need to do any swaps. Now here is an important thing for you to understand, which is also the optimization part of this insertion sort. So the thing is, the place at which our box is present currently itself, this 5 itself is smaller than the key value, so we don't need to go further on the left side and check. The reason is because you observe this is already in ascending order, so there is no chance before that a number will exist which will be greater than the key value. So I don't need to check further. I will directly increment the value of I and move forward. I don't need to move this box back to 0th index and do the process. This is the optimization part for the insertion sort. Okay, as you see now, we have incremented the value of I, and now our arrow is pointing to the number 1. That's why our key value is 1, and our box is present on the 3rd index and the number is 6. Now observe here, 6 is greater than the key value, that is 1. So we need to swap these two adjacent numbers. Alright, the swap was done. But in this we cannot skip the further check, because you see our current number is 1, and but we are having the numbers which are greater than 1 in the left side. So we have to keep on continually checking on the left side by moving the box on the left side and decrement the j value. Okay, so now our j is pointing to 2, so our current number is 5, and we have to compare this 5 to the key value. Since the box value is greater than the key value, these two adjacent value need to swap. So swapping is done here. The box should move one more step backward. Okay, so the box is now on the 1 index pointing to value 4. So the box value is still greater than the key value, so we require to swap this box value with the adjacent number. So a swap was done. 1 came to the first index and 4 went to the second index. Still the process is not over. The box should further reach the 0th index. Okay, so now the box is at this 0th index. The value here is 2, which is still greater than our key value. So again a swapping will happen between these two numbers. So 1 will come to 0th index, 2 will come on first index, and so on. Since the box reached the 0th index, we have to increment the value of I. Okay, so now I has come to 5th index and j is one step before that, that is the 4th index. Arrow is pointing to the value 3, that is why the key value is 3, and our box is having value 6. So we have to compare this box value with the key value, and since the box value is greater than the key value, this box value should swap with the right adjacent element. So I will do a swap here. So 3 came to 4th index and 6th number went to 5th index. Okay, the process is not over yet. The box should move by one more step backward. Okay, so the box is at 3rd index now, which is the value 5, and since this box value is also greater than the key value, this box value will swap itself with the adjacent element. Swap was done. 3 came to 3rd index and 5 went to the 4th index, and the box will once again move one step backward. Okay, so now the box is having the value 4 and our key value is 3. Still our box value is greater than the key value, so we need so this box value need to swap with the adjacent element. So 3 came to the 2nd index and 4 went to the 3rd index, and still the process is not over. The box will further move. So box came to the first index, and at this index you observe the box value is lesser than the key value. So here we have to stop. I don't need to check any further on the left side if there are any numbers greater than key value, because that is not possible. Alright, so with this our sorting is done. Okay, so here I am having a diagram representing the state of the array after every operation. Okay, with this diagram we can infer that insertion sort sorts the element from left to right, unlike in the bubble sort. Bubble sort sorts the element from the right end. Okay, but this algorithm sorts the element from the left end. Now I will make you understand why this algorithm is called insertion sort. Okay, let us see. Initially when the value of I was 1, which means we are pointing to value 2, we will try to insert this value 2 on the left array. Okay, and now on the left array we are only having a single element 2. Now this 2 should be kept, 2 is smaller than 5, so 2 should be kept on the left side of the 5, and as you can see on the second line, 2 has come to the left of 5. So we successfully inserted 2 to its respective position. Now in the second array, I value is 2, which means we are pointing to value 4. Now where this 4 should be kept on the left side. Our left array is having only two elements, 2 and 5, and 4 should be kept in between these two elements, because 4 is greater than 2 but less than 5. So as you can see on the next line, 4 came in between 2 and 5. So we successfully inserted the value 4 into its respective position. Now the I value is 3. 3 in the sense 0, 1, 2, 3. It is pointing to the value 6. Okay, so where should 6 go? The 6 should be kept on the right side of the 5, which is by default present. That is good. So in the next line it is anyway present on the after 5. Okay, now when the I value is 4, this which means we are pointing to value 1, where this value should be inserted on the left sub array, which is already sorted. You see 2, 4, 5, 6. This 6 should also be highlighted, sorry, where this one should be inserted in this sorted array. So as we know, logically one should go before 2. So in the next line you see 1 came before 2, and this sub array is sorted. And this is what we say, one was successfully inserted in the respective place. And finally when I is 5, our value is 3, and 3 should be inserted in between 2 and 4, and we successfully did that in the final iteration. So this is the reason why it is called insertion sort. So I hope your understanding of insertion sort has developed, and now we are ready to get into the text editor to write the program for this. We are into the text editor, and let me start by creating an integer array which contains the element 524613, and I will call a function named insertion, which will accept the reference to the array and the size, which is 6, sorry. And after getting sorted, I will print out all the elements of the array to see if the array was sorted or not. Alright, so our main function is ready, and now we are going to write the function definition. So this function is of type void, and it accepts an integer array and the size of the array as len. Okay, so let me start by declaring the initial variables which I consider in the demonstration, I comma j, integer I comma j. And as you remember, our I value started from the first index and went to the end of the array. So I have to write a for loop saying as I equals 1, I should be less than the length, and I should increment every time. Our ith loop is ready, and inside this I will consider a variable key. You remember in the demonstration we considered a key. Similarly here we will create a variable key which is the value present at the ith index. So arr of I. Okay, now we need to write the loop for the j. So as you remember, the j starts just one index before the I value. So I should write it as j equals to I minus 1, just one step before. And j should be finally greater than or equal to 0, j minus minus. And inside this, I have to write the swapping logic. So as you remember, we do the swap only when the key value is lesser than the value present at the jth index. So I will write it as if key is less than the value present on the jth index, then I need to do the swap. Now swap in between which elements? I should swap the value of ARR of j plus 1 and ARR of j, the very next element. So that is written as ARR of j plus 1 will become ARR of j, and our current ARR of jth element will become our key. This much is enough and it will work. Now this function, if you execute, it will work fine. Let me just show you. Build is complete, and then let us run this. Now as you can see, it is already printing the sorted array, but still we have not included the optimization part in this. See, the optimization part was, if we don't find a jth element which is greater than the key, we don't need to further go and decrement j and traverse in the backward direction. We can break the loop then and there itself. So the way it can be done is else break, and that's it. So our function is totally ready. So I will build the program and execute it, and as you can see, we are getting the sorted output. So that's all for this program. I hope you have learned how to do insertion sort and the program as well. Let me try to give some random 6 numbers for sorting. Okay, so this is our array and I'll try to sort this. Okay, so 2, 4, 43, 43, 65, and 67. So this algorithm works perfectly fine. Okay, some final points. Like bubble sort algorithm, this insertion sort is also of time complexity order of n square and space complexity order of 1, because in this also we are using constant variables I, j, and key to write the logic. So that's all. Thank yourself for being patient enough to see my video, and stay tuned.